What an eventful day on the internet. What an eventful day. So you might be asking, what made the day so eventful? You see, the same hackers that pretended to be Rick Ross and infiltrated Insomniac.
She just spotted me, Rick Ross. You know what I mean? Oh, can you sit there for the camera? There you go. Yeah, she just thought she seen Rick Ross. So you know what I mean. I wanted to give her a little picture and everything. Hey, shout out to Hannah and her husband, man. Hey.
Yes, those hackers, who threatened to release all of Insomniac information, they were not bluffing. Sony did not pay them the $2 million in Bitcoins. So they did exactly what they said they were going to do. They released a massive amount of information about Insomniac, upcoming plans. They also released the workers' information and so forth. Sony, no doubt, sent out the pony signal and called for help.
Mom! Yeah, that's right. That's right. Call for your mama.
And it's kind of funny, pun intended, that these gaming journalists, these YouTubers, are contemplating if they should even have this discussion about leaks, if they should cover any of the information that was brought out in these leaks, because why? It's a studio that they love. Persons are involved, they would have spent so much time making these games and so forth. Should we even talk about these leaks? We have morals after all. So this clip here is a clip of Greg Miller from the Kind of Funny podcast, basically saying that, he's informing everyone that Insomniac was hacked, and, he wants his audience to know what is, their stance on if he is going to report on it or so. If you read the subtitles there, you would see where it is. He is basically saying that their YouTube channel won't be covering the leaks because this is appalling. This is, unheard of, that, persons would even report on things like these because, Insomniac has families. Insomniac, they are people, they're not robots. And for this leak to come out, it's really sad on his part. So Greg Miller and the Kind of Funny Games studio will not be reporting on the Insomniac leaks. Instead, they are going to talk about the humans. Yeah.
First question on your mind is, when's this Xbox coming? No, the first question on your mind is, are you going to cover the Insomniac leaks? You guys know that I don't cover things the day they happen. I woke up this morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern and spent 30 minutes reading posts and tweet threads and everything else. And I have not made up my mind on what I will do with that. I haven't made up my mind. I do not want to put information out there that was stolen. I don't want to put information out there that was taken by scummy people and then used against a company that I respect and admire. But we may have to. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I know everybody's going to want to know, are you going to cover it or not? We'll have to debrief on that today.
This video is incredibly difficult to even talk about because it's criminal in nature. A lot of times when I'm discussing gaming leaks, it's just accidental stuff. An employee posting something early, somebody getting beta access, a storefront posting a trailer before they're supposed to. But this leak is different. A big group of hackers have broken into Insomniac Games headquarters, which is debatably PlayStation's best studio, and they managed to steal literally terabytes of very delicious secrets from Sony, and they've posted all of it online. Now, people are discussing if it's even morally correct to talk about this, if this is one of those situations where universally we should turn our back and pretend it isn't happening. But I do a lot of daily gaming news stuff. I like to talk about the industry. So I am making a decision here to to talk about it, but in vaguer terms. We're going to avoid a lot of the most top secret stuff.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
My thoughts exactly. Because when most of the gamers heard all of these YouTubers and all of these gaming journalists talk about morals now as these leaks came out, because it is a PlayStation studio, because it is a beloved studio, all of a sudden you guys don't want to talk about it?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Didn't Kind of Funny Games cover the GTA leak? Wasn't that done by hackers as well? Come on. Didn't Kind of Funny Games jump on the Microsoft biggest leak in history? What, this is okay because it was purposely leaked, or because it was leaked by mistake? This one is okay, but the one for Insomniac isn't? Come on, now Kind of Funny is saying leave them alone. Well, Kind of Funny.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
But didn't Reforge Gaming, made a whole live stream over 2 hours talking about Starfield leaks, reacting to the gameplay? How now all of a sudden that this is, immoral to speak about leaks that hackers would have provided? How now? Well, if they don't want to talk about it, I will talk about it. So we'll talk about some of the leaks that was revealed on yesterday. We'll also talk about how Xbox is climbing the charts when it comes to sales. All of that and more. Let's get it.
This is a sickness.
Let's get it. So before we start, don't forget, if you like content like this, please consider giving me a sub. It would help the channel to grow and in effect give you guys better content. So hit the subscribe button. Don't let me call Kurt Angle for you,
We done?
They better be. So the first news item we have is Microsoft is doing well when it comes to selling Xbox Series X and S on Amazon, and that is because they reduce the prices of the consoles significantly. We know that there is a very good deal right now for the holidays, $350 for the Xbox Series X, and I believe $200 or even $189 for the Xbox Series S. And because of that, look at the charts here. We are seeing that the Xbox Series X is number 2 in Amazon, and also overall it is number 14 when compared to the PlayStation 5 console. The PlayStation 5 is number 92. So this sale, this massive sale that Microsoft is having is, having great success for Microsoft. And we know that Microsoft never made no set of profits on the console. They would make that money back selling software. Next up, we have Toys for Bob. They had a sit down and an introduction to Unreal Engine 5. So, as most of you all know, Toys with Bob are the same one responsible for Skylanders, Spyro Trilogy, and Crash Bandicoot. So, those developers had a sit down. Notice what they tweeted. We took some time out to get together and share our latest experiments in Unreal Engine 5. It was a full day of excellent presentations with plenty of learning and fresh ideas for the new year. So what you think Toys for Bob is they are reviewing here? Do you think it's a new Spyro game? Do you think they could bring Crash Bandicoot back to the levels of, let's say, Mario or so forth? Let us know in the comment sections below what you think they were working on here. And finally, let's talk about our main story, which is the big Insomniac leak. Now, this leak had so much content that I don't think I'll be able to cover all of it in this video. What I will do is, talk about what stood out. And what really stood out in this video, basically several things. listen to David Jaffe as he highlights one of the things that we need to be concerned about, or Sony fans need to be concerned about when it comes to, why Insomniac is doing what they are doing. Listen up.
Just this Rofif on NeoGAF, they say, and just like that, we know why Sony pushes for digital. Yeah, that makes sense. But it says, it's insane how much money Marvel gets. Just make your own new IP. Why make this licensed Marvel shit? Make new stuff. What a waste of money to pay them. Okay, in principle, sure. I mean, even though I'm a huge Marvel fan and I love the Marvel games from Insomniac, yeah, in principle, sure. But honestly, this is the answer right here. Because their original property, which is just as good as these games, and in some ways better, but I mean, it's a totally different kind of experience for the most part. When they do something original, and Ratchet ain't even original, right? Ratchet, I mean, it's original for Sony, but I mean, it's been around for a long time. It's not a new IP. When they, you would think that would be a little bit of help, but they can't even, break even. And they're only spending $81 million. So, I mean, come on, man. I mean, Miles Morales was $160 million, and it was built on the bones of the first Spider-Man, which obviously we don't see here. So that, to me, not only answers that person's question, which is why are they giving Marvel all this money? Because here, the return on investment, that's why. 75% Spidey, 35-40 Wolverine, 122% return on their investment for Miles Morales. And even the remaster, the Spider-Man remaster made 48% return on investment. So this is why. And this is it tragic? I don't want to be over dramatic here, but it is, shame on gamers, I guess. If it had been on Nintendo, it would have sold. What is it about PlayStation gamers that I don't know. They just don't show up for this. They showed up back in the day for Crash and Spot.
So there you have it. David Jaffe is giving his, insight into the leaked documents. So the leaked documents that he was referring to is this one here. What this shows is that Sony, in extension, Insomniac, is betting very heavily on Marvel rented IPs, right? So if you notice here, they are showing you how much money the Marvel games would have made. All of them made profits, with the exception of Sony IP, which is Ratchet and Clank. So it's saying here that Ratchet and Clank sold 2.2 million. Total revenue earned from that 2.2 million was 73 million. It took 81 million to make Ratchet and Clank. So they had a deficit or a profit loss of 8 million. But every other Marvel game is racking up profits. So Sony IPs are not how it is making big profits for Sony. Hence the reason they are going so hard on Marvel IPs. Speaking about Marvel IPs, Sony is betting heavily on Marvel IPs. Look at this, roadmap of what we could expect from Insomniac and in extension Sony. A lot of Marvel IPs, Spider-Man 3, Wolverine, X-Men, new IP, X-Men 3. There's even documents showing that they are going to stretch Spider-Man into 3 parts, and each part will cost $50. So if you own a PlayStation 5, you will be paying for that Spider-Man 3 in 3 parts. Part 1, 2, and 3, coming up to $150. Now this leak really exposed a lot of things. Yes, some of these things may not be up to date, but it gives us a general idea as to what is Sony's plan. Now we are going again. Now there was one side that the pony community was hoping and praying was fake, and that is this slide. Look at this. The Call of Duty threat in 2027. This basically talks about that, seeing that Microsoft acquire Activision Blizzard, it is a threat to PlayStation and the game subscription market. Look at the second point there, console shift from PlayStation to Xbox. if it is Xbox decide to do a different type of weapon system, or they get exclusive weapons and so forth. Look at subscriptions. Microsoft comprehensive ecosystem coupled with exclusive creates a greater dominance. Look at the next point, Sony impact. It says massive threat to PlayStation Plus, and it goes on to tell you why. The date. So Sony is concerned about the date of releasing games to their services, and Sony is afraid that Microsoft would eventually leapfrog over their strategy. It goes on to say that Sony pillars are dated. Look at the points there. Sony pillars are already dated and behind the competition. So this leak list here helps us to see how afraid Sony is. Sony is really contemplating, and there was another leaked document showing that they are contemplating to go third party, but we don't want to jump to that as yet. That could be going a little too far. However, this is very clear. Microsoft's strategy is very much concerning for Sony. That is why they have this here. Now, so the ponies try to debunk that slide to say it's fake, but every evidence is pointing to this being true. Now, I don't want to make this video go into 17 minutes. Let me know what you think about this and any other thing that I missed during the course of the video. I will make another video on the more important things that I missed on this leak. But let me know about what it is you think about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.